Welcome back everyone to Pinely Plays the Rune-keeper. Now you may be wondering, wait a minute, weren't you in Angmar? What are you doing here in Rivendell? And that's because I was so excited to get moving along, I forgot that I never talked to Aragorn, which is the first thing I need to do in Book 6.
It is time to turn our eyes north.
With matters in hand here, it is time to turn our attention to the north.
Will you stay a moment? I must speak with you.
Hail and well met, Pinestone. It is well that you have come. This morning a falcon arrived bearing a message for me from Estelden, the hidden refuge of my people in the North Downs. It would appear that another such bird came to Estelden from the north, gravely wounded, bearing a message from one of my kinsmen we had believed long dead. I know little more, for the message to me was brief, but Dervun had asked me to come at once. My time here is short, and I cannot return now to confer with my people. My path lies to the south and to the east. Will you go to Estelden in my stead and learn what tidings have come there? Speak to Dervun, for it will be he who sent the message to me. I fear that the news is grave, for Golodir has deemed lost years ago when his captain Golodir disobeyed my edict and took a company north into Angmar. They were never heard from again. It is a joy that Golodir lives, but what kept him from contacting us before now? And I need to talk to Dervun, who is in the North Downs, which is another thing that I have a habit of forgetting. And after talking to Dervun, I will then need to talk to Golodir, who is going to be in Angmar, which is in the town Alkar, which is where I was trying to head. Now you may be wondering why I'm not going to the stables. And that is because since I'm in Rivendell, I want to take care of some business that I was planning on doing as soon as I returned to Rivendell. And that was to visit the rep vendors there. I think this is the way. Yeah, alright, this is the way. This is the rep vendor that I visit the least often, so if I'm going to forget about one, about their locations, this would certainly be the one, especially since you're going down to weird places in the landscape. And it's a long way. And what I'm seeking here is to see if there's anything interesting in their rep stuff, since I'm at Kindred, so sometimes they have some rewards that are interesting, especially if you finish it reasonably close to level, and I think at level 45 I should be fairly close to the expected level to do this, which is better than waiting until I'm level, well, so far up that why does he have a quest ring? Oh, this is probably just to talk to him for the talk to the rep people.
How can I be of service?
We are pleased to have you among us, Pinestone. You are welcome to make use of our services we can provide. All right, thank you.
How may I be of service to you?
And let's see. Now, is there anything here that is useful? Okay, they're level 50 rewards, it looks. Well, no, some of them are 42, like this Healer of Rivendell, plus 13 will, plus 39 maximum power, plus 66 in-combat power regeneration. It's certainly a lot better than a plus 4 will and plus 4 vitality. Compared to my current bracelets, this is sweet. Now, It's unique, but... Oh, not try on, I want to buy it. So I'll buy that. And what do we here? Healer's Earring, which is another item, is part of a set. And 13 Will, 13 Fate, level 45. Maximum power. Now I'll be losing quite a bit of morale to don this, but it'll give me extra power. And it's going to be part of this set. So I think I will... Alright, we'll put this. Healer's Locket, plus 13 Will. Plus 10% healing if I use it. And that gives me down for 10 seconds. Whoop-de-doo. I don't think that one's as important. Healer's Ring. How about this one? 24 Will, 12 Fate. I like this one quite a bit, and this certainly is better than... You notice how they have all... I don't know why I keep on hitting the one on the left when it's the one on the right that's the one I need. Alright. Let's do that. Award of Elven Virtue, plus 1 Wisdom, Charity, and Patience. I might as well take that. That's a racial trait, and seeing how I have so few racial traits equipped. Healer's Locket. This is a pocket item, and more will. Problem is, with all these things, I have to give up physical mitigation. Well, if I were healing in a group, then maybe, but I think I've got plenty of that. I think I want to keep the physical mitigation there, so. Right, and that's the one we already... Healer's Buckler. Well, that's... Healer's Buckler is obviously designed for a minstrel. And since I'm not a minstrel, since I can't use shields, that's... Oh, that looks ridiculous. Alright, Tome of the Sparrow. That would be useful for a lore master. Prized Rivendell Steed. That's what I came for. That just doesn't look right. Alright, so that's some stuff for warrior, some healer, some archer. Alright, so now let's have a look at this mount and see whether or not it's one that I think would fit me. Yes. Good. Alright. Maybe I should brighten up my what I'm wearing maybe to match it a little bit better. Actually what I'm wearing works pretty well with the coat on the horse. So I think I just got a new mount. Good. And that way it'd be less prone to be knocked off, which is the entire reason for getting that. And that's why I came here, is because I thought that would be a nice mount to have. Now I'm doing it mainly for the morale, which is now 250 rather than the 100 I currently have, and not for the here we repair vendor.
How may I be of service to you?
And I'm not doing it for the speed because I have the journeyman's trait, which gives me everything at a same speed anyway. So hateful worm eyes, that's lore master, and I'll just want to sell a lot of stuff. what I do is I will cut back when I finally get back to Estilden and talk to him there. And I'll see you then. Welcome back. Here I am with Dervun, and let's see what he has to say.
What do you need?
Welcome, Pinestone. Did Aragorn not come with you? Alas, but that is fell news. Well, there is naught for it now. You will have to do. Are you prepared for a long, dark journey? It is through Ram-Duath into Angmar that I must send you.
What do you need?
Perhaps I should start from the beginning. Many years ago, one of our captains, a man by the name of Golodir, desired to enter the realm of Angmar, for he had heard rumors that the descendants of the ancient hillmen of Raldar had made for themselves a home there, and began again to multiply. He suspected also that a shadow had come again unto Carm-Dûn, and fell creatures began to spread southward into the North Downs. Aragorn forbade any to go there, for that land still had an ill name, though it had been barren for hundreds of years. Nevertheless, Golodir gathered those who would go with him and passed out of our memory, until a few weeks ago. A wounded falcon arrived, bearing a message from Golodir, one of Golodir's company, stating that he had been dwelling at a place called Aghar, a village of the hillmen somewhere north of Ram-Duath. Will you go there and speak with Golodir? The urgency of his message makes me fear what has come to pass. I deem we have not yet seen the darkest times. So therefore, I now finally have a quest to go into Angmar and to talk to Golodir. Here we are. Now we're in Angmar. So from the village of the Earthkin, we now need to head into Aghar. So we finally caught up to where we were last time, before we had to go and backtrack. So this means, of course, whenever you start going into a new location, make sure you know where you are in the quest. There are a number of times where I did talk to Aragorn, went straight to Angmar, and then said, oh yeah, I was supposed to go to the North Downs first.
Greetings, Southron.
So at least I didn't have to worry about that bit.
It has been long since we've known peace.
I do not know you, stranger, and it is my tribal duty to know all those who come to these lands. If you come in friendship and are strong in body and spirit, you have nothing to fear. Present yourself to our chieftain Crannog, and he will find a femme for you to perform. If you are weak or dull-minded, there is no place for you here. Travel south into the lands of the Soft, or go north and find some place to die. Crannog's ruling seat is here in Aghar, west of the settlements. Right, yes, you'll see where he is in a moment. Oh. And
Come hither, Southron. I would speak with you.
And this is the beginning of a major chain, pretty much called the Fem Quest line, because its reward is an armor set known as the Fem armor set, and there's one for light, medium, and heavy users.
The hills of Angmar are not friendly to the unwary.
You have come to Aghar, but you are not one of us. You are of elf kind. If you wish to be counted friend of the Trev Golog, you must undertake a tribal duty, a fem. I may have such a task for you. Alright?
Come hither, Southron. I would speak with you.
All who call themselves Trim Golog must have a purpose. That purpose is their fem. If you have no fem, you are no Trev Golog. and no friend of us. Prove yourself worthy of being called a friend of the Trevgolorg of Alkar. I will give you such a femme if you do all that I ask you. It is the place of a chieftain to direct his people and to do great things, even in the face of danger, and many dangers are arrayed against Alkar. Torkil, Wraith, and Obsel will tell you of some of these. You will aid them in facing these evils, and you will return to me when your first challenge is met. If you are to prove yourself to me, you must prove yourself first to my people. Alright, and the reward here would be the Slippers of Femme, which is the first piece of the armor. And you see this is a major upgrade from what I have, since this is the level 42 piece of armor, and it looks like where I'm currently now is a level 21. Now you wonder why I'm getting killed all the time. It's because my equipment is pretty poor. Alright, let's begin with Osbel.
I would speak with you, Southron.
Our chieftain is testing you, Southron. If you are stout of heart, you will prove yourself worthy. If you are not, I do not lie when I say that coming here will be your greatest mistake. Some days past I was surprised by a pair of wargs among the foothills north of Alkar. They are vicious, dangerous creatures, and my escape was made more difficult by the refusal to lead the pair by straight paths into the settlement. But this I will not do. But I am fleet of foot, and know the land hereabouts, and I made it back safely, if winded. But the wargs are newly arrived to Fossacloran, and it will not be long before they make it here. Defeat these dangerous creatures. You will find them not only in Fossacloran, but also within the fortress of Tor Gavlin, northeast of Alkar. Whether they guard Trev Durvdane there or serve as jailers, I do not know, but I know they must be defeated either way. If you do this, I will tell Crannog of your victory. So therefore, I need to defeat some wargs. And let's see. This is the second
Would you
one.
lend me a moment of your time?
My brothers were great warriors, and they gained much honor in battle against the Trev Duvardane and the orcs of Angmar. They spoke highly of them, and both women and men called them mighty. But even the mightiest man can be felled by a single arrow loosed from hiding, and so it was with my brothers. Orcs beset them from the caves of Morphil, and they were defeated. I have petitioned Crannog for vengeance, and now he sees fit to unleash you upon the orcs in my stead. I hope you are worthy, for if your strength is found lacking, it will go poorly for you. The interest of Morphil, right, you'll see it in a moment, but I'm to defeat 9 orcs of 4 warriors, 4 skirmishers, and a captain. And as usual, I'll probably kill one at a time, the other, so therefore kill a few extra in the process, but that doesn't matter too much because I still have this deed to kill orcs that I still have to complete, and I'll remove Crannog's challenge, since
Will you stay and hear of our troubles?
to make things here is the Trev Duvardane press us in every opportunity, Pinestone. We must oppose them with all our strength, but still Crannog insists on caution. Caution! The Trev Duvardane serve the comrades of Angmar now, and they carry their tokens. In return for their bondage, the Trev Duvardane have been given the fortress city of Tor Galvin. We must take these tokens from them and show the Twelve Galag will not stand for such betrayal. The fortress of Torghaven stands in the northeast of Angmar. Travel there and wrest the stone amulets and bloodstone pendants from the traitors who now live in the place. Return to me with these tokens, and I will tell Cranach of your efforts on behalf of the Trev Galorg. So therefore I need skull amulets and bloodstone pendants. And very well, so that's nice quest that we have there. But of course my main purpose is to talk to Coronir. And that's why Aragorn sent me here at least. Though actually that's where the epic takes me. But the Fem series is a series I like to do with every single one of my characters. It ties in with the epics in Volume 3. It becomes very important in Volume 3. Since we meet a character here, we meet later on in the epic storyline. And Volume 3 is a volume that I will be doing probably all the way through.
What do you need?
Who are you? Nay, it matters not. All that matters is that you have come. Matters are grave, and we have need of such any assistance you can muster. These good people are beset on all sides by the tyrants of Angmar, who now gather a mighty army to march south and crush the elves of Gondor the elves and Gondor between their hammer and the anvil of Mordor. Time grows short, and we must act quickly if we are to hinder the shadow of Angmar. Perhaps I should tell you somewhat of our long story. When we first came to Aughar, the hillmen were suspicious of us, but not overtly hostile. Golodir quickly earned their respect, for he was a great captain among us and was able to inspire the heart. We learned that the hillmen were under the oppression of a remnant of Angmar and had returned to Caer Doom from over the misty mountains. But worse, a sorcerer much likened to the Witch King of old has also come to the evil city. The hillmen called the sorcerer the false king, for they knew well that the Witch King himself could never return to Angmar. Golodir determined that the steward of Angmar had to be stopped before he could gather the strength in the north. He gathered together as many of the hillmen as would follow him in and journeyed east with the rest of our companions, believing that Angmar was not yet strong enough to withstand a united front. I was left behind to take word to Estelden in the event of the expedition failed, which it did. And do you wish to hear more?
What can I do for you?
So, you would know how this tragedy came to be? In truth, I know not. I do not know whether it was through some machinations of the false king, or whether it was purely an evil chance, but our march was brought to an abrupt end. As we marched east, we found ourselves confronted by a vale filled with terrible statues. Ramas Deluon, the hillmen call it. That some spirit of evil vigilance abode in those stones there was no doubt, for we could all feel the oppression of them. It was here that Golodir bade me remain. And the host passed through the stones. It became clear why the hillmen feared the valley so. When the last few men crossed Ramath de Luon, the watching stones threw forth a terrible malaise of oppression, such that those men caught within were stricken dead by the weight of it upon their hearts. I tried to pass the stones, but could not. Golodir bid me remain, and so I did. Days turned to months, then years, and still Golodir did not return. I knew I should have returned at once to Estelden, but I could not abandon my captain. I tried vainly to cross Ramas Delun until the very spirit was broken within me. At last I sent the message to Estelden, which brought you hither. I must learn the secret of Ramas Dulon Pinestone, perhaps one of the many lesser stones which litter this land, especially near the camps of the Angmar and Hillmen, will reveal the secret. Go to one of these lesser watching stones and take a rubbing of the stones found upon the base. Beware the fell and deadly stones, for they have too terrible a power. So I must take a rubbing from a lesser watching stone. But that will be for next time, in the next episode of Pineleaf Plays the Rune-Keeper.